Welcome virtual crawlers to our in-depth look at all the shawls and kits that we have prepared for you for this yarn crawl.
We have several new ones, so let's get started.
Yes.
One of the first ones that we have is the Rockwell Shawl. This was a collaboration between RMR Yarn and Carolina from Luna Gemini Knits. And the shawl starts out by she held one strand of fingering weight yarn in the beginning, and around this section she started to hold two strands together so that it could have a little bit of weight at the bottom and lay nicely as you wear the shawl.
This one is done with two of our colorways, Frambuesa and Floreciendo en la Ceniza. And if you come to the store, you'll get it in this really nice kit that we've prepared for you.
The next one that we have is the Temperance Shawl. This is a Malabrigo pattern that we also did in RMR Yarn, with RMR Yarn, using 3 different colors. I definitely knit this with a larger needle, so that's why it ended up so big and squishy, but I was able to use all of the yarn.
And this one is done also in using the color Frambuesa, but it also includes the color Menta and Orquidea Centelleante.
The next one that we have available, it's called the Bloomington Morning Shawl. And this one was also done with RMR Yarn. Bloomington Morning is a Lisa K. Ross pattern. And you definitely want a nice high contrast, especially for this textured part down here, so that it could really pop.
We also have prepared a kit for you, and that one is done with Helado de Frambuesa and Orquidea Centelleante.
The next one that we have is the Fronds Shawl. This is a crochet shawl. It's a very simple pattern, and it has this lovely edging that works up as you crochet it. So you don't have to go back and create this. You do it as you're working up. And you can definitely make this longer or bigger, especially if you like bigger shawls. And I did this with Malabrigo Arroyo.
The colorway for this this model is called Petrichor.
The next shawl that we have available is our kit is the Sprinkles shawl.
Yes.
This is a one skein shawl especially for that hand dyed yarn, or favorite color that you have. There's a little bit of a lace section and a lovely lace edging that looks complex, but I promise you it's not. And it's a very nice and interesting knit.
This is definitely for like a summery type of feel, so you can definitely choose these like really bright colors. But I think it could also work well in neutrals.
Yes. The next shawl that we have is the Storm Shawl. This is a Joji Locatelli pattern. This is a one skein shawl that has all of these drop stitches, a little bit of eyelet sections. It's like a little crescent.
We used Mechita for this in the Moon Trio Full, but any hand-dyed speckled yarn or, you know, tonal yarn would work for this pattern.
The next one that we have is also a Joji Locatelli pattern. This one is the Hipster Light. If you knit the original Hipster that was done in worsted weight yarn, this is the fingering weight version, which was intended to be a one skein shawl, and it has these little tassels at the end.
This one was made with RMR yarn in the Orquidea De Ensueno colorway. It's right here. I'll show you.
So a lovely speckly yarn. You can also choose like a neutral color or hand-dyed, a special hand-dyed yarn that you have.
And this was knitted by Leticia, who's a friend of the store, and she blocked it with something that smells so great. So I'm getting distracted. I'm just like smelling it here.
The other shawl that we have is the Hug Shot Shawl by Casapinka. And this one was made with our...
We're holding it backwards.
We're holding it backwards.
Here you go. You take that in. Okay.
With our custom colorway from Jessie from Mechita Yarn in the colorway Rue, and we paired it with a nice contrasting color with a black colorway in this case from Heritage, from Cascade Heritage Yarn.
And you won't get bored with this shawl. It was one that I started at the beginning of the pandemic, and I was really surprised that I wasn't, it didn't feel like it took forever because there's all these color changes. So it was really fun to knit.
So this is the pairing that we did. And you can definitely choose other colors, or if you don't like working with black yarn, you can definitely do another high contrast.
And I don't know if you mentioned, Jessie had a model with denim. One of her colorways was denim, and the other one was
sour candy.
Sour candy.
The next shawl that we have is the Glimmer Shawl. This is one of our patterns. It is a DK weight shawl, very simple knit, has several sections with eyelets. This was done with the
Classic Shades Sequence Light.
Yes, thank you.
I can hold it so you can think. Yeah.
And it just took 2 skeins of it, so about 530-ish yards. And something you can definitely make bigger if you like bigger shawls. And in store we have several color options. So if you want to play around with the color or have more neutral tones, you can definitely choose other options here.
Next up is one of my unfinished items. I didn't get to finish it for this yarn crawl, but it is a crocheted shawl called Sitka. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. And it uses about 3 skeins of DK weight yarn, and it ends in this beautifully textured edge. And because I'm a tight crocheter, I went up a whole millimeter for my hook. I think it requires a 4 millimeter, which is a G, and I used an H, which is a 5 millimeter.
And we also have several options, several color options of Adore, which is a super wash merino blend.
Yes.
So depending on what it is that you're looking for, if you like color, if you want something more subtle, you can definitely have other options.
Yes.
Another shawl that we have is the Old Shale Shawl, which is an Aran weight shawl. And this was done with our bonus Aran yarn. This lovely tweed color.
I did about 10% of this shawl, and then Rue finished the rest, but I'm still taking credit for it. 50-50.
Here we don't finish each other's sentences, we finish each other's projects.
Exactly.
And this is the bonus Aran skein. It's a 400 gram skein and has about over 900 yards here, so you definitely don't have to weave any ends or anything. We have several colorways.
Yes.
Just really like the tweed one. Oh, we forgot one. This one was from last year.
Yes.
This was from
Yarn for the Masses.
Yarn for the Masses.
This is called the Friendship Shawl. And what we liked about this particular one is we did it with one or 2 skeins. I
think
2 skeins of her yarn. And the pattern calls for a bigger section of garter, but we just modified it because we liked it better this way.
And we definitely have kits for this.
Yes.
A couple of the other shawls from last year, you'll notice them in the back. This one right here is the Songbird shawl, also a worsted weight shawl. Has a lot of texture. It's a beautiful shawl, and we have this colorway in store. And then we also have the Gold Rush done in bamboo pop, and the Burlesque shawl, which is done with folio. It's a very lightweight shawl. And then finally we have the Pink Monarda. I
think I'm blocking the view there.
It's a very simple stockinette section at the top and a lovely lace section at the bottom. It's definitely several options, several kit options that we have available.
We hope to see you soon.
Thanks.